Students and teachers, what's the best forgot to turn off the mic story during virtual learning? Mr. Grady had been teaching our 8th grade math class online for like 6 months at this point. Dude was super predictable, always logged on exactly at 8:30, always wore those boring button-up shirts, always ended class with, "Have a good day. See you tomorrow." The guy was basically a robot. So, when class ended that Monday morning, everyone was just sitting there waiting for him to leave. The Zoom like he always did, but his little green dot stayed on. His camera was off, but we could still see his name in the corner. At first, it was just random noise, like a chair creaking, some papers rustling, the usual stuff. A couple kids started typing in chat, asking if anyone else was still here. Then, we heard Mr. Grady's voice, but he wasn't talking to us. "I can't do this anymore, Beth." Everyone froze. Like, literally nobody moved. I think there were maybe 15 of us still on the call, and we all just stared at our screens. He kept talking to whoever Beth was. Said he got some letter that morning from the school district. They weren't bringing him back next year. Budget cuts, or whatever. He'd been teaching for 12 years, and apparently that didn't matter. Then his voice got all shaky, and he said, "How am I supposed to tell him? This job is all I have left." The chat exploded. Kids were typing stuff like, "OMG, is this real? And should we leave? And is he crying?" But nobody actually left. We were all just sitting there listening to our math teacher have a complete breakdown. He started talking about how he never even liked math in the first place. Said he only became a teacher because it was stable when his wife divorced him. That hit different because Mr. Grady never talked about his personal life ever. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. He'd been skipping meals to pay his rent. Last semester, he was literally sleeping in his car behind the school, building some nights because he couldn't afford gas money to drive home. I knew teachers didn't make much, but I had no idea it was that bad. That's when another voice came through the mic. Younger, like a teenager. "Dad, you're going to be okay. I'm really proud of you." Mr. Grady started full-on sobbing, like ugly crying. He kept saying, "You shouldn't have to see me like this, and I'm supposed to be the adult here." His son, because obviously that's who it was, kept trying to calm him down, said they'd figure it out together, that he could get a job after school to help out. Mr. Grady just cried harder. This went on for like 10 minutes. All of us kids just sitting there in complete silence, watching our teacher's life fall apart in real time. Finally, this kid, Jaden, who never talks in class, unmuted himself and said, Mr. Grady, your mic is still on." Dead silence. Then we heard a chair scraping really fast, and Mr. Grady's name disappeared from the call. The next day was weird as hell. Mr. Grady showed up like nothing happened. Same button-up shirt, same routine, but you could tell he was embarrassed. His face was red the whole time, and he wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. Some parents found out and started complaining to the school about inappropriate content during class time. But something crazy happened. Kids who never gave a crap about math started showing up on time. People stopped talking during his lessons. Brandon, who usually spent the whole class playing games on his phone, actually raised his hand to ask questions. Real questions. Not just about homework, but like actual life stuff. Mr. Grady started opening up more, too. Not about his personal problems, but he'd tell us stories about when he was our age. Cracked jokes occasionally, smiled more. The school board didn't change their mind about his contract, though. Last week of school, Mr. Grady told us it was his final class. Half the girls were crying. Remember, I said some parents were mad about the whole mic situation. Well, one of those parents was actually listening that day. Her name was Mrs. Brown, and she owned some business downtown. She called Mr. DeGrady that same week and offered him a job tutoring kids online. Like actual good money. Way more than teaching, flexible hours so he could spend time with his son. Last I heard, he's doing really well. Still teaches kids math, but now he actually gets paid what he asked. The silence after Jaden unmuted and broke. The tension was almost deafening. None of us knew what to say, and honestly, no one wanted to say anything. It was like we all witnessed something sacred, an unguarded moment where the strong facade cracked open, revealing a vulnerable human. Being behind the teacher's desk, Mr. Grady's panicked exit felt like a sudden severing of a lifeline. The next morning, when he logged back on, it was like nothing had happened, but you could see through the routine. His usual robotic, "Good morning, class," was quieter, less certain. His eyes were red. Maybe he didn't sleep well. Every glance he gave the screen carried a hint of uncertainty. And for once, the students weren't tuning him out. They were watching, waiting, hoping. Yet, something powerful had shifted. Word about what happened spread through the grapevine, and parents started talking. A few called the school complaining about the unprofessional moment during class. But that story only told half the truth. Among us students, there was a newfound respect. Kids like Brandon, who'd normally be glued to his phone, suddenly showed up early and actually cared. The group chat for homework help exploded with messages, and some shy kids found courage to ask for explanations. Mr. Grady started to come out of his shell, too. He didn't spill his life story outright and never talked about the hard times again, but he shared bits and pieces. Tales from his youth, some embarrassing, some inspiring. He cracked jokes, sometimes awkwardly, but we laughed with him, not at him. One particular day sticks out. We were struggling with quadratic equations, and Mr. Grady sighed. You know, he said, I never thought I'd be good at math either. But I stuck with it because sometimes life doesn't give you the easy path. He smiled behind the screen, the corners of his eyes crinkling. And hey, if I can survive all this, you can survive homework. It made the class feel less like a chore and more like being part of a community. For all of us, Mr. Grady wasn't just the math teacher anymore. He was someone who'd been through real struggles and kept going. That kind of resilience made the numbers on the screen seem less intimidating. Meanwhile, that week, Mrs. Brown's call came unexpectedly to Mr. Grady. Her offer to tutor kids online was a lifeline. She promised flexible hours, and the pay wasn't just better, it was life-changing. More importantly, it meant time with his son, something Mr. Grady had been sacrificing for years. When we heard the news, there was a collective sigh. We were going to lose him as our teacher, but we all understood why. His final class was emotional. Half the girls, and plenty of guys too, were wiping away tears, some holding up handmade cards and notes. Before the class ended, Mr. Grady said, I'm grateful for every one of you. You helped me keep going, even when I didn't think I could. Remember, the greatest lessons aren't in the books. They're in how you handle life when it gets tough. The mic incident was still a thing we joked about in our private chats, but it was a moment that humanized Mr. Grady in ways no classroom lesson ever could. Months later, I logged into an online tutoring platform and saw his name pop up. I signed up immediately. Mr. Grady's tutoring sessions were incredible, patient, smart, and full of stories that made math feel less like a puzzle and more like a conversation. And finally, he was getting paid what he was worth. Story 2. She smirked. What? Scared of a little mystery. After refusing to say where she got expensive jewelry, I said, mystery solved. When her sugar daddy's wife thanked me publicly for the screenshots that won her everything in the divorce, I 28 male. Been with Cassandra for 2 years, living together for 1. Everything was good until about 4 months ago when expensive stuff started showing up. First, it was a Cartier bracelet, not some knockoff either. I know because she left the receipt on the kitchen counter. $8,500. When I asked about it, she said, her bonus from work came through. Cool. Except she's a part-time yoga instructor who also does some social media management. Unless teaching downward dog suddenly pays like Wall Street. Something didn't add up. Then came the Balenciaga bag, the Louis Vuitton wallet, diamond earrings that made my entire year's savings look pathetic. Each time I asked, she got more dismissive. Why do you care so much about my finances? Stop being so controlling. Can a girl treat herself? Last week was the breaking point. She walked in wearing a Rolex. A freaking Rolex. This time when I asked, she just smirked and said, what? Scared? Of a little mystery? Maybe I have a secret admirer. The way she said it, that smirk, like she was enjoying watching me squirm. I'm not an idiot. Secret admirers don't drop 30K on watches. But what killed me was the contempt in her voice. Like I was beneath her now that she had these things. That night while she was at her Thursday yoga class, spoiler, it wasn't yoga. I did something I'm not proud of. I looked at her iPad. We shared the passcode for emergencies. Found the messages immediately. Some dude named Garrett Whitmore, investment banker, 52 years old. The messages were explicit, but what stood out were the Venmo transactions, regular payments labeled consulting, ranging from $2,000 to $5,000, plus all the gifts he bought her. The kicker, his profile pic was him with a woman and 3 teenage kids, family man of the year over here. But the messages between them, Jesus. She was calling me her roommate and saying things like, he's so boring, but splitting rent helps me save more of what you give me and can't wait till I can upgrade from this mediocre life. Mediocre. 2 years together and I'm mediocre. I screenshot everything, every message, every transaction, every photo she sent him. Then I found his wife's Instagram. Took me 3 minutes. Haven't sent anything yet. But Cassandra just posted another mystery gift on her story. Diamond tennis lit this time with the caption, blessed and highly favored. Yeah, we'll see about that. Update 1. Things escalated exactly like I thought they would. After finding everything out, I played it cool for a few days. Needed time to think. Cassandra, meanwhile, got cockier. She started leaving her gifts out in obvious places, practically daring me to say something. The bracelet draped over my coffee mug. The bag placed on my side of the couch. Power plays. Tuesday night, she announced she was going to a wellness retreat for the weekend. Showed me the booking confirmation on her phone. Some bougie spa resort that costs $800 a night. When I asked how she was affording it, she laughed. Mystery, remember? Or are you going to go through my stuff trying to figure it out? The way she said it, she knew I'd looked at her iPad. She was taunting me. Nah, I said. Mystery solved. Actually, her face changed. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Enjoy your wellness retreat. She stared at me for a long moment, then grabbed her new Louis Vuitton and stormed out for her Pilates class. She was meeting Garrett at the Ritz downtown. I know because she shared her location with me ages ago and forgot to turn it off. That's when I made my move. I messaged Garrett's wife, Eleanor, on Instagram from a throwaway account. Mrs. is Whitmore. You don't know me, but I have information about your husband you need to see. I'm the boyfriend of the woman he's been seeing. I have screenshots of everything. She read it within an hour. Her response was simple. Send them. I sent everything. Messages where Garrett called his wife frigid and past her prime. Screenshots of him promising to leave her once the kids are in college. The Venmo transactions. Photos Cassandra sent him that I won't describe here. Everything. Eleanor responded, thank you. My lawyer will be in touch if we need these authenticated. Then she went dark. Meanwhile, Cassandra came home that night glowing, showing off a new necklace. Garrett says, my friend says it brings out my eyes. She didn't even care enough to keep the lies straight anymore. Update 2. The wellness retreat weekend arrived. Cassandra packed her bags Friday morning, making sure I saw every designer item she put in her suitcase. She bought a whole new set of lingerie, too. Left the tags on the dresser where I'd see them. $400 for underwear. My half of rent is $1,100. BW. Don't wait up Sunday, she said, kissing my cheek like we were just roommates. Might extend the stay if I'm feeling relaxed enough. 20 minutes after she left, I started packing my stuff. See, our lease was ending in 3 weeks anyway. I'd already found a new place, put down the deposit Tuesday after sending those screenshots. To Eleanor. Movers were scheduled for Saturday morning. But Friday afternoon, everything exploded. Cassandra called me 17 times in the span of an hour. I was at work, phone on silent, didn't see them till my break. The text started normal. Hey, can you call me? Babe, something weird happened. Call me now. What did you do? His wife is here. Adrian, what the F did you do? I didn't respond, but I did check Eleanor's Instagram. She'd posted a story. Her at the same spa resort selfie with the caption, surprise weekend getaway. Sometimes you need to treat yourself. That emoji. Same one Cassandra always used. Ella Laner knew exactly what she was doing. The calls kept coming. Then Garrett started calling me. Garrett. The dude had my number from when he'd called once pretending to be a client interested in Cassandra's social media services. Left a voicemail. Listen here, you little prick. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you're messing with the wrong people. I'll bury you in legal fees. Delete whatever you have, and we can forget this happened. Legal fees for what, my guy? Telling the truth. Saturday morning, the movers came. I took everything that was mine, left everything that was hers. Did leave a note, though? Mystery solved. Your sugar daddy's wife got the receipts, literally. Good luck with the upgrade from your mediocre life. P.S. Your share of this month's rent is on the counter. I left $1,100 in cash. Petty, maybe, but I wanted her to know I could afford my life without selling my dignity. Update 3. The fallout was intense. Cassandra came back Sunday to an empty apartment. Well, half empty. All her stuff was there, just none of mine. She lost it. Called, texted, showed up at my work, tried everything. At my work, she made a scene. Security had to escort her out when she wouldn't leave the lobby. She was screaming about how I ruined her life and destroyed something beautiful. The security guard later told me she'd said I was abusive and controlling. He asked if I wanted to file a report. I said, no, just don't let her back in. But here's where it gets good. Eleanor Whitmore filed for divorce Monday morning. Turns out Garrett had hidden assets in several accounts he used for his adventures. The Venmo transactions I'd screenshot, his lawyer claimed they were investment consultations. Eleanor's lawyer countered with the explicit messages about what exactly was being consulted on. Garrett tried to do damage control, claimed Cassandra seduced him, that she pursued him, that he was going through a midlife crisis, threw her under the bus completely. Posted on LinkedIn about the importance of learning from mistakes and focusing on family values. Cassandra, meanwhile, went nuclear on social media, posted a series of stories about how women should support women and how Ella Laner was attacking her instead of addressing the real problem. She actually tried to paint herself as the victim, the feminist girl boss who was being persecuted for dating a man who happened to be married. Eleanor responded by posting every single gift receipt on her own Instagram story. Every single one. With the caption, "Since everyone's so curious about my husband's investment consultations, here's where our retirement fund went. Swipe up for my divorce lawyer's contact. She's excellent with financial fraud cases. The total $73,000 over 4 months. That's not including the cash payments." Cassandra's Instagram went private after that, but not before she posted one last story. Taking a social media break to the person who betrayed my trust and invaded my privacy. Karma will find you. Karma already found me, babe. I'm sleeping great in my new apartment. Update 4. Thought it was over. It wasn't. Last week, I got a call from a lawyer. Not Garrett's. Cassandra's. She was threatening to sue me for emotional distress and invasion of privacy. The lawyer claimed I'd hacked her devices and stolen confidential information. I laughed. Actually laughed on the phone. Told him she gave me the iPad passcode and never changed it. As for emotional distress, maybe she should have thought about that before calling me mediocre while spending another man's money. The lawyer said they'd proceed with the lawsuit. I said, good luck, and hung up. 2 days later, Eleanor's lawyer contacted me, wanted to know if I'd testify in the divorce proceedings. Garrett was claiming the money he gave Cassandra was stolen, without his knowledge that she'd manipulated him, basically trying to get out of paying Eleanor her share by saying that money was already gone. I agreed to testify. Why? Because screw both of them. Court was yesterday. I showed up in my best suit, Men's Warehouse, nothing fancy. Cassandra was there in full designer everything, probably $10K worth of clothes and accessories. Garrett was. They're looking like he'd aged 10 years and 2 months. Eleanor sat with her lawyer, completely composed. My testimony was simple. I confirmed the timeline, authenticated the screenshots, and when asked about Cassandra's knowledge of Garrett's marriage, I quoted her message. His wife is so clueless, it's actually sad. But hey, her loss is my gain. Cassandra's lawyer objected. The judge overruled. Garrett's lawyer tried to paint me as a scorned boyfriend seeking revenge. I responded that I was just answering questions. Honestly, when he pushed, asking if I was angry about the affair, I said I was disappointed to learn my girlfriend was exchanging intimate services for money and gifts. But mostly I was relieved to find out before we got more serious. As for revenge, I just told the truth. If that ruined someone's life, maybe they should have made better choices. Eleanor's lawyer then submitted Cassandra's social media posts as evidence, including one where she bragged about securing the bag and leveling up from broke boys. Also included was a DM exchange between Cassandra and her friend where she detailed her arrangement and called Eleanor a dusty wife who can't keep her man satisfied. The judge was not amused. Final update that it's over. Finally actually over. The divorce was finalized last week. Eleanor got everything. The house, the cars, full custody, alimony, and 70% of all assets. Turns out Garrett had 2 other consultants. Eleanor's lawyer discovered during proceedings. Dude was running a whole roster. Garrett's reputation is destroyed. His firm conducted an internal review after the divorce details went semip. Ella Laner's friends have connections everywhere. He was asked to resign. Last I heard, he's living in a 1-bedroom apartment and driving a 2015 Honda Civic. Cassandra, Oh, this is the best part. She tried to sue me. Case was dismissed. No grounds for invasion of privacy when she gave me the passcode. No grounds for emotional distress when I simply told the truth. Her lawyer dropped her after she couldn't pay the retainer. She got evicted from our old apartment after failing to pay rent for 2 months. Tried to claim I owed her half, but I had the receipt showing I'd paid my final month. She moved back in with her parents. But the real karma, she tried to find another sugar daddy. Posted thirst traps with captions about knowing her worth and only entertaining serious inquiries. Except now she's known in those circles. Eleanor made sure of that. There's apparently a whole network of wives who share information about women like Cassandra. She's blacklisted from every potential arrangement in the city. Last week, she unblocked me to send one final message. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life over jealousy. I was going to leave you anyway once I saved enough. You just couldn't handle that. I was outgrowing you. I responded, you're right. You were going to leave me. Thanks for showing me who you really were before I wasted more time. By the way, Garrett's wife wanted me to tell you thanks for the evidence. Her divorce lawyer said, you made her case slam dunk. She blocked me again. Eleanor sent me a message yesterday. Just 2 words, thank you. Then she sent a photo of her and her kids on vacation in Greece. The same trip Garrett had promised Cassandra in their messages. The caption on her Instagram. Post upgraded from mediocre. Thanks for the inspiration at Cassandra Fit. Cassandra's account is deleted now. As for me, I'm good. Better than good. Been dating someone new for a few weeks. She's a teacher, drives a Toyota, and pays for her own coffee. When I told her this whole story, she laughed and said, wait, she thought you were mediocre? Has she seen how you parallel park? That shit's impressive. That's wife material right there. Edit, since people keep asking. Yes, Eleanor kept the emoji use intentional. She's petty as hell, and I respect it. Also, Garrett tried to contact me last week asking if I provide a character reference for his new job application. I didn't respond, but I did forward it to Eleanor's lawyer just in case. Eat it too. Cassandra apparently started a coaching business for women wanting to date up. Her Instagram bio says, relationship strategist, high V-value dating, feminine energy expert. She has 12 followers. Her mom comments supportive messages on every post. It's actually sad at this point. Final edit. Eleanor just tagged me in a post. She donated $73,000, the exact amount Garrett spent on Cassandra, to a women's shelter. The caption, turning trash into treasure. Some women actually need help, not Cartier. The shelter commented thanking her for the largest single donation they've received this year. Cassandra can see it. She's hate watching from a burner account. How do I know? She accidentally liked the post, then unliked it. But Ella Laner screenshot it first and posted it to her story with crying, laughing emojis. Mediocre. My ass.